Hey guys, so someone asked me to talk about masterclasses, and since we're getting into festival season and a lot of people are going to be going to masterclasses in festivals or festivals that are masterclass based and lots of masterclasses, I thought it was an appropriate time to talk about it. Um, the first thing is a masterclass is its own creature. It's not a performance, it's not a lesson, it's an in between, and because of that, you're not meant to be perfect. Um, Same way as a lesson would be worthless for you if you never got any criticism or you never did anything wrong. A masterclass would be useless if it was perfect because you wouldn't get any feedback that was helpful apart from great, you sound great, which why are you playing for it then? So things are meant to go wrong. You obviously want to be prepared and you want to be as well rehearsed and well practiced as you possibly can, but if things go wrong, that's helpful for you because then the person who's teaching you can actually teach you something. Um, for me, especially when I was going into a master class on a piece that I knew I was going to have to perform later in the year or later in the summer or whenever it was, I went in with an idea of what I was scared about. So if they asked me what I wanted to work on, I could go, okay, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm struggling with. Do you agree? If so, how can I fix this? If not, what do you think I need to work on? And that goes into repertoire selection. A lot of the time, they let you pick what you're playing or give you, like, ask you to submit options for what you're going to play. And when that's the case, don't just pick pieces that you like. I mean, obviously pick pieces that you like, but don't just pick them because you like them. Have a purpose to them. It's something that you struggle with. It's something that you're competing on later in the year. It's something you're auditioning with. Whatever it is, um, have a reason, so that way the work that you're doing on it with the clinician or whoever is giving you the class has a purpose apart from I'm learning this piece. And I mean, yes, we all want to learn these pieces as well as we possibly can, but if you have a goal that you're working towards, it makes a ton of sense to play that piece in the masterclass. If you are able to get a list of the things that people are playing, do, and try to bring the scores for as many as you can. Um, this is mainly because a lot of people, unfortunately, give masterclasses the same way they give lessons. And so it's almost like you're observing a lesson rather than observing a masterclass, which is unfortunate. But if you have the score, at least then you can follow along and you can make notes and you can figure out what's going on. In that kind of masterclass, it's really, really hard to figure out what's happening if you don't have the score or don't know the piece. So if you do have the opportunity to get the list of repertoire, definitely get it. And I think it's worthwhile talking about the types of masterclasses that some people give. There is the public lesson, and honestly, that's the least effective for me unless you're playing, in which case, great, you get a lesson. Like, awesome. But a lot of the really great clinicians will use the player in front of them as an example. They'll take whatever the player's doing and use them to model good behaviors, good practices, and things like that for the people in the class, which means that not only is the player getting help, the people in the class are also being taught how to do things. And they're getting a living, breathing example of that. They'll even coach the player through whatever they're explaining, and it means that you get a live example of what you should be doing, what you maybe shouldn't be doing. And I think that's the most effective form of masterclass. On the far end of things is the clinician that gives the same class every time and just finds a way to make the players fit into that mold. And those are also extremely frustrating because if you see more than one of them, you're kind of stuck with the same information every time. So keep in mind that masterclasses aren't always helpful. They are for the player most of the time, and they usually are for the people sitting in the audience, but there is that 5% chance that it's not going to be a great masterclass. And that sucks, but it's part of the risk you take. If you have the opportunity to talk to someone who's seen a masterclass with that person before, ask them. Ask them what you can expect. Like, I know there are some people that I've seen masterclasses multiple times, and I know exactly what type of teacher they are and exactly what kind of things you can expect, whether good or bad. And the last thing about masterclasses is take advantage of the fact that you have access to a performer that you probably wouldn't see on a regular basis. Yes, it's great that some festivals have your teacher at them and you get to study with them a little bit more and like they can help you out, but the point of a masterclass is to work with someone that you don't have access to, that you can't see on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Like, how many people can say that they can talk to Emmanuel Pau on a weekly basis, let alone daily? Clearly the Berlin players, but how many students can say that? There are probably 2 in the world. But Domaine Forget, for 2 weeks every 2 years, gives you access to him for a full week and a half. And you can take what you will out of his teaching, but he's still one of the best flute players in the world. You still have access to him for longer than most people can get at him for like their entire lives. So take advantage of the fact that you can work with people like that through a masterclass setting. Don't be afraid to make mistakes in front of them, because that's how you learn. And yes, it's intimidating. I get it. Like, trust me. But if you don't make mistakes, you won't learn, and they can't teach you anything. So we've now come full circle. I hope this was helpful, and if you, as always, if you guys have video ideas, please let me know, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the 365.